Hello and welcome to this special edition of HBMs Crypto Corner. I'm going to be talking about dead cryptids, or allegedly dead cryptids. That's the special edition today. Next week will also be a special edition, so hope you guys be able to tune into that. But let's get started with this one. Now, my criteria for dead cryptids is the imagery, supposed imagery. This is a very interesting photo, supposedly taken around the turn of the century. It's a photo of a allegedly dead Bigfoot sent to Tom Biscardi, yikes, by a fellow named Lyle Billett of Victoria, Canada. The photo was apparently on Tom Biscardi's website. Looks like it says 1894, and okay, wait, alright, yeah, here's the... Thank you very much, Craig Woolheater, for providing the text here. Text from the back of the photo says, year 1894, Yallacum River around Lilliet, BC, Forestry, Hudson Bay Company. They took the picture, and the guy that was in the picture went and stole them back from the Forestry Records, Hudson Bay Company. I believe his last name was Holiday, don't know the first name. Never took all pictures, only one, and took pictures of the rest. Glass plate photography. Update, I have scanned the uncropped image and posted it on Cryptomundo here at Update Photo of Dead Bigfoot. So, this is the entire uncropped photograph right here. And matter of fact, this photo was actually used in the Bigfoot casebook. I'm not sure. I would have to dig out. I believe it's on. It's in the Bigfoot Casebook updated. I don't think it's in Bigfoot Casebook, however, the original. So this is a scan from the book, so it suffers from the shortcomings of a scanned photo from books and newspapers. So, I don't know. You know, that looks very interesting. But there is a photograph in Grover Krantz's updated version of Bigfoot prints called his updated version, Bigfoot Sasquatch Evidence, of what appears to be perhaps a dead Sasquatch, and Bob Titmus said that it turned out to be a bear that had been turned inside out, a dead bear that had been skinned, and the coat was turned inside out, the fur coat. So, could that be what this is? We really haven't gotten much further information on this particular photo. So, what is it? Is it a dead Sasquatch? Is it a dead animal that was turned inside out? I mean, what exactly is it? Will we ever know? That's a good question. You know, I'm going to leave this up to you guys. If there's somebody out there that knows more about this photo, you got more information about this photograph, please share it below. Let us know if you know anything further about this photograph. All I know about it is what I have seen from sites like Cryptomundo. And Craig Woolheater has done us an amazing service by, you know, revealing this photograph and saying, and showing us and saying, hey, what is this? So anyway, on to the next thing. Okay, I'm going to attempt this again. I tried this earlier and kind of messed up, but I'm going to try it again. This is more of supposedly dead cryptids, more specifically visual evidence of allegedly dead cryptids. Okay, what we have here is alleged photo of a dead Bigfoot, but Dr. Carl Shakur, who is a cryptozoologist, I believe he also has zoological training. I think he is a zoologist by training. Yes, zoologist, media consultant, and science writer. I'm going to bookmark this page. Yes, he actually found The original image of this particular, now here's the supposed dead Bigfoot photograph. But it was actually a manipulated photograph of a dead grizzly bear shot in Alaska. And here are the two photographs side by side. You can see that it appears that the individual who used Photoshop, most likely, removed the head, lengthened the front paws, because you can see they look shorter here. The actual bear's front legs are actually shorter than what we see here. We see what appear to be long arms. And then we have the shorter legs of the bear, but they've been elongated to make it appear that this Bigfoot has a higher undercarriage, as it were, than, let's say, a bear. So, very interesting that this was manipulated like this. It is an older photograph. It came from a postcard, and apparently it was also used in an early 20th century issue of Field and Stream. So that's a very interesting little factoid. But no, in fact, it is a bear. It's a bear photograph. Moving on. Now here's an interesting one. This is supposedly a dead sea serpent, right? Yeah, that's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a dead sea serpent. Supposed plesiosaur found in 1977 near New Zealand by a Japanese trawler. Now, it looks pretty good. Looks pretty interesting. But some genetic testing was done on this, and you can see the corpse of whatever it is. Because the captain had the foresight to take some samples from this alleged sea serpent carcass, or plesiosaur. And it turned out it was merely a basking shark that had rotted away. Here's an illustration of a basking shark, and another one. And finally, this is it in its decomposed stage. So, that pretty much solves this mystery. This is nothing more than a basking shark that just simply decomposed. So there you go. Now here's an interesting one that has become quite famous in recent years, the alleged chupacabra. You've probably seen the footage from the dash cam of a sheriff's deputy in Texas, which shows what appears to be a dog-like or coyote-like creature running away from the camera. It's called a chupacabra. But you can see right here some sort of a corpse of some kind. I personally think that these are nothing more than coy dogs or coyotes. Coyotes with mange, probably. Or, coy dog or dog-wolf hybrids. Oh, those things do exist, or those things are done, where coyotes are bred with dogs, interbred with dogs, and wolves are interbred with dogs, because they're in the canid family. So I don't believe we're dealing with actual chupacabras. I think we are dealing with more mundane creatures, more mundane animals. We're dealing with coyotes that have contracted mange. We're dealing with probably coy dogs, wolf dogs. I'm referring to hybrids, of course. Now here's a bit of a variant on the sea serpent theme. This, or things similar to these, are known as globsters. And they are alleged creatures that wash up on shore. And they're supposedly of a strange origin. Nobody knows where they came from. Nobody knows what they are. Some descriptors of some descriptors that are interesting is if the bent leg points to the head was missing, as far as I could tell, chewed or screwed off by a propeller, or perhaps rotted away. Despite the tapering neck and tail, their best suggestion of the Hatfield Marine Science Center in Newport, Oregon, is that it's a gray whale. Which, I guess, again, may have rotted away or decomposed somehow. Now, Michael Sandella, upon research, and that's the, apparently that is the individual who took these photos, believes the beastie to be a gray whale. So, if he believes it to be a gray whale, then, and if the Marine Science Center said that's what it was, then that's what it's got to be. You know, I would prefer, to say that yes, that's what this is. Very interesting, though. I mean, it looks like it could be something strange, but most likely it has a more mundane explanation. We're going to look at a couple more, and then I'll get into a little bit of crypto news, and then we'll end this. Next week is going to be another special edition, by the way, of HBMs Crypto Corner. It'll be the last one before Halloween. This one is well known, I believe. Matter of fact, did I not just have a story about this about a month or so ago? About the Montauk Monster, which turned out to be just a rotted out raccoon. But, I mean, look at it. It looks like it could be some sort of result of genetic experimentation. The Maine mutant. It reminds, well, Lauren Coleman wrote, it reminds me of the Maine mutant. That's what he said. I see, look right there, but I mean, you can see the. It looks very strange until you compare it to a dead raccoon. It was compared to a dead raccoon, by the way. So, that's most likely what it is. You can refer back to one of my previous shows when I talk about the Montauk Monster. So, we have one more strange, supposedly dead cryptid to look at, and then we're going to talk about a little bit of crypto news. This one's been making the rounds on the internet for quite a while now. The Yeti de Bourgeouf, or Bourgeouf. Not really sure how that's pronounced. But some interesting details have emerged from this. And it is actually, it's a fake. it's a hoax. It was created, sculpted by an individual named Emmanuel Castillos Johnson. Over 8 feet long, and used horsetail hair for the hair. because apparently the translation was frozen mannequin Burjanov. It looks pretty good, but it's obviously not real. It was what you might say a tribute. Apparently, it was a tribute to Bernard Heuvelmans, the father of cryptozoology, the man who coined the term. Despite what some may say about Ivan Sanderson having coined it, no, Ivan Sanderson got it from Bernard Heuvelmans. Bernard Heuvelmans was the one that coined the term cryptozoology, and Sanderson just followed suit. Even Sanderson said, yes, Heuvelmans was the father of cryptozoology and the one who coined the term. So there you go. So this is a hoax. Good hoax, though. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get some crypto news, and we are going to end this little shindig. First thing I want to talk about is the new podcast, Wild Thing, with Laura Krantz. Yes, she's a cousin of Grover. She is. And the first 2 episodes have been released, and the 3rd episode is supposed to drop. It dropped yesterday also. So, yeah, it's good stuff. I've listened to the first 2 episodes, and they were really well done. The first episode was about Dr. Grover Krantz, her cousin, but it was also about some nests that the famous Olympic Project nests, the ones that they were told about over on the Olympic Peninsula. And on this episode, Shane Corson takes Laura and her producer out where those nests are, and then shows them off, as it were. Really, really good episode. Really great episode. There was also a second episode. Let's see, called "Kissing Distant Relative" or "Kissing Cousin." Kind of getting into, are these creatures directly related to us? Are they a parallel branch, or what are they? And Laura actually talked to Ian Tattersall, who's the curator at the American Museum of Natural History in New York. Really, really well done interview. She also talked to Jeff Meldrum. She talked to John Mayenzinski. She talked to Todd Disotell. Guys, I highly recommend listening to the Wild Thing podcast. It is terrific. WildThingPodcast.com. That's the website. You guys want to listen to and hear it? It's good stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Can't recommend it highly enough. It is tremendous. And there's a little event happening over in Jefferson, Texas this weekend called the 2018 Texas Bigfoot Conference. And they've got some cool speakers lined up. They got the one and only, the legendary Mr. Bob Gimlin. They got Dr. Jeff Meldrum. And they have what I like to call the Texas Four. They got Lyle Blackburn, Ken Gerhard, Nick Redfern, and Shelley Covington, Montana, also as speakers at the Texas Bigfoot Conference. I wish I could go. I really do. I wish I could go. I wish I was going. It looks like a lot of fun. But anytime, and I've had the opportunity to meet Lyle Blackburn, meet Nick Redfern, meet Ken Gerhard. So, and all 3 are cool guys. Of course, Shelley I've known for a long time. She's also very cool and very sweet. But yeah, I mean, I call them the Texas Four because they're just great folks, great Texans. Yes. Well, Nick is not really a Texan. He's from England. He's an adopted Texan. There you go. So, but yeah, I mean, just great folks all the way around. It looks like it's just going to be a tremendous event this weekend, Texas Bigfoot Conference. Not sure what the status is on tickets. You might be able to get a ticket. I don't know. You can check with Craig and check in with his ticket sales. But it looks like it's going to be a great time and a great event. So those of you who are going, have a tremendous time. Yep, absolutely. And that's essentially it for news items for this week. I'm going to talk a little bit about next week's show. I'm going to talk about Creature Weekend, which is coming up a week and a half away. I'm going to talk about Creature Weekend. This upcoming spring, I've made a decision to go to, not the Ohio Bigfoot Conference, but to an outing I've been invited on, which also takes place in Ohio. It actually takes place a week before the Ohio Bigfoot Conference. So I can't do both, so I've decided to go on ahead and go on this outing because as much as I love the OBC, it's just you don't get too many opportunities to get out in the woods. So I think this is going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. I'm also planning on attending next year's Beachfoot as well. So I'm planning on going to attending 2 events next year. Maybe 3. I may be going to perhaps the Sasquatch Summit next November. I'm considering going to that. Never been to that one. Oh, and I'm going to have more news about that next week, by the way. And I'll talk about that as that event comes up for this year. I think I gave y'all a little sneak preview. When was it? About 2 or 3 weeks ago, I guess it was. I talked about the Sasquatch Summit. I know Bob Gimlin's going to be there, Jeff Meldrum, Tom Powell, the Olympic Project, Tom Cantrell, Rick Riello is going to speak for the first time at any Bigfoot event. So, should be interesting, should be fascinating. So, anyway, yeah, good stuff going on all the way around. Next week's special edition, and there will be cryptid news, don't worry about that. Next week's special edition will be the scariest cryptid stories. You know, hey, cryptids can be frightening. They can be. And I'm going to talk about some of the scariest cryptid stories. Now, that can entail Bigfoot, that can entail lake monsters, that can entail any sort of strange, unusual animal. So hey, yeah. So anyway, guys, you guys are the heart of the show. I know I say that every week, but you truly are. You know, I do this for you guys. I don't do this for me. This is not about me. This is about you guys. This is about giving you the news. The cryptid news that's fit to print. And maybe some that's not fit to print, but hey, we won't get into that. Anyway, thanks guys once again for tuning in. And I know I've talked about the subscription rate, but to me it's not about the subscription rate. It's about getting the news out to you guys. So anyway, and also I want to continue to praise Cliff Barrickman's website and also Sasquatch Canada. Good stuff. Absolutely great stuff. Oh, Monster X Radio. Hey, yeah, tune in to that every week. The most recent episode was terrific. The most recent one with Thomas Steenberg, Talking Old Timers with Thomas, On the Shoulders of Giants. Great series with Julie Wrench as the host, and she does a great job. And she and Thomas are terrific. If you want to hear about some old school stories and good stuff, and stuff that's not too out there when it comes to Sasquatch, Thomas is your guy. That's the show you gotta listen to right there. On the Shoulders of Giants. Talking old tires with Thomas. So anyway, thanks guys again for tuning in. And hey, y'all be good or be good at it. This has been HBM's Crypto Corner.